7.11 Implement disaster recovery processes. Here we're going to explore the essential steps and processes needed to ensure that your organization can recover quickly and efficiently after some disaster. And don't forget, at the end of the session we have our AI-powered exam assistant prompt. So if now you didn't go deep enough, you know what to do. Alright, this has 7 subtasks, including 1. Response. How to detect and assess disasters and initiate recovery efforts. 2. Personnel. Defining roles, responsibilities, and cross-training staff to ensure continuity. 3. Communications. Maintaining clear communication channels during a disaster. 4. Assessment. Conducting damage and resource assessments to prioritize recovery efforts. 5. Restoration. Bringing systems back online and ensuring data integrity and monitoring performance. 6. Training and awareness. Preparing personnel with training and drills. And 7. Lessons learned. Reviewing and documenting insights post-disaster to improve future responses. Alright, so let's dive in. 7.11.1 Response. This is the first step in the disaster recovery process and focuses on how you detect, analyze, and respond to a disaster as it unfolds. 1. Detection and early warning systems. It's crucial to have robust systems in place that can detect potential disasters, whether it's attacks, system failures, or natural disasters, and trigger early warning. The faster you detect a problem, the quicker you can respond. 2. Initial incident analysis and confirmation. Once a disaster is detected, the next step is to confirm its nature and severity. This analysis will help you determine the scale of your response. You don't want to overreact to minor incidents or underreact to major ones. 3. Severity assessment and response scaling. Based on your analysis, right-size your response to match the impact of the disaster. This ensures that resources are efficiently allocated, so you're not wasting time or energy when it's not needed. 4. Activation of disaster recovery teams. Once you've assessed the situation, it's time to mobilize your disaster recovery team. Make sure roles are clearly defined and the team is ready to handle the specific challenges posed by the disaster. And 5. Implementation of scalable recovery strategies. Depending on the disaster severity, your recovery strategies might include switching to backup systems, relocating your operations, or utilizing some cloud-based service to restore critical functions. 7.11.2 Personnel. In any disaster recovery plan, having the right people in the right roles is essential for the recovery. The exam will expect you to understand how to effectively manage personnel during a crisis. 1. Role definition and assignment. Clearly define and assign roles to everybody involved in the recovery process. Each person must know their specific responsibilities and reporting lines. In a disaster, confusion about roles can lead to delays and mistakes. 2. The business continuity coordinator. Appoint a business continuity coordinator. This person will oversee the entire recovery effort, ensuring that all teams are aligned with the overall business continuity plan. The coordinator manages resources, prioritizes tasks, and keeps everyone on track. 3. Cross-training and redundancy. Disaster recovery requires flexibility. Cross-train key personnel to cover multiple roles. This creates redundancy, so if somebody is unavailable, another team member can step in without disrupting the recovery process. 4. Regular drills and training. You can't expect personnel to perform well in a crisis if they haven't practiced. Regular disaster recovery drills and training sessions will build confidence and ensure that everyone knows their role under real-world conditions. 5. Communication and support networks. Establish clear communication channels that support networks for your personnel. They need to be able to quickly assess critical information, report issues, and receive guidance through the recovery process. 7.11.3 Communications. Very important aspect of disaster recovery that often determines the success or failure of your response. 1. Multi-channel communication strategy. It's essential to implement a multi-channel communication system that includes email, SMS, phone calls, and instant messaging. This ensures that no matter what communication platform is available, critical updates can reach our stakeholders even if some channels are down. 2. Crisis communication plan. You need a clear, predefined crisis communication plan that outlines roles, protocols, and pre-approved messages, ensuring that during a disaster, the right information is sent quickly and accurately. Everyone needs to know who communicates what and to whom. 3. Emergency notification systems. Use automated emergency notification systems to rapidly inform employees, partners, and customers about the disaster. These systems should provide clear instructions on immediate actions and where to get more information. And 5. Regular updates and transparency. Communication during a disaster isn't a one-time event, so providing regular updates to all stakeholders about recovery status. Transparency is key to maintaining trust and managing expectations, whether you're dealing with internal teams or external customers. Effective communication is essential, especially in high-stress environments during a disaster. 7.11.4 Assessment. This is where you assess the situation immediately after a disaster to determine the damage and prioritize your recovery efforts. 1. Initial damage assessment. The first thing you need to do is assess the damage to the critical infrastructure, systems, and operation. Identifying the key areas affected allow you to focus recovery efforts on the most vital components first. 2. Resource and capability evaluation. Evaluate the available resources and capabilities. You need to know which personnel, backup systems, and facilities are ready to assist in recovery. If certain resources aren't available, you'll need to adjust your recovery strategy accordingly. 3. Business impact analysis. Conducting a BIA during the disaster helps you understand the potential consequences of the disruption. This includes impact on business operations, finance, and customer relations. The BIA guides your decision-making process and prioritizes recovery efforts based on the most critical business functions. And continuous situation monitoring. The situation could change quickly during a disaster, so continuous monitoring is essential. As new risks emerge or the disaster severity increases or decreases, you need to adjust your recovery plan in real time. 7.11.5 Restoration. This is where we focus on bringing critical systems and services back online after a disaster. 1. Prioritize restoration of critical systems. The first step in restoration is to prioritize which systems to bring back online. Start with the most critical systems, those essential for business operations, and ensure they are restored first to minimize disruption. 2. Data integrity verification. Once systems are restored, it's crucial to verify the integrity of the data. Perform thorough checks to ensure that the restored data is complete, accurate, and free from corruption or loss. Data integrity is the key to resuming normal operations without introducing further issues. 3. Phased restoration approach. We're not going to bring everything back online at once. Again, we use a phased approach that allows us to test and validate each system before moving on to the next one. We want to make sure that there's no cascading failures or additional vulnerabilities introduced during the restoration process. 4. Post-restoration monitoring and testing. After systems are restored, continue to monitor performance and conduct additional testing to identify any lingering issues. This step ensures that the restored environment is stable, secure, and ready to support full business operations. 7.11.6 Training and awareness. Having well-trained personnel is critical for effective disaster recovery, and this subtask ensures that everyone knows their roles and responsibilities before a disaster strikes. 1. Regular disaster recovery drills. Conduct regular drills that simulate different disaster scenarios. These drills help personnel understand their role in the recovery process and prepare them to respond quickly and effectively if a real disaster should occur. 2. Ongoing training programs. Keep your training programs up to date. Disaster recovery is constantly evolving with new technologies and evolving threats, which mean ongoing training and keeping your staff ready. 3. Role-specific training. Obviously, not all personnel need to have the same responsibilities during a disaster, so we provide tailored training to the unique situation of each team member. And awareness campaigns. Go beyond just the recovery team. The entire organization should be aware of disaster recovery plans. It's like fire drills, right? Run awareness campaigns that educate staff on key procedures, reporting channels, and their individual responsibilities. Fostering a culture of preparedness ensures that everyone is ready to contribute to recovery efforts when needed. 7.11.7 Lessons learned. This is the final step in the disaster recovery process where you evaluate what worked, what didn't, and how to improve future responses. The exam will likely test your understanding of how to document and integrate lessons learned into your disaster recovery strategy that include 1. Post-disaster review meetings. After the disaster recovery process is complete, hold post-disaster review meetings with all relevant stakeholders. Discuss what went well, the challenges encountered, and any gaps in the recovery plan. 3. Documenting insights and recommendations. During the review, document the lessons learned and any recommendations for improving your disaster recovery plan. This ensures continuous improvement and helps your organization be better prepared for future incidents. 3. Incorporating feedback into disaster recovery plans. It's not just enough to identify problems. You need to integrate feedback into your disaster recovery plan. Update strategies, protocols, and training programs to address the weaknesses identified and capitalize on the strengths. 4. Sharing lessons across the organization. Don't keep the lessons learned confined to just the disaster recovery team. Share the insights with the broader organization to raise awareness, reinforce best practices, and ensure that all teams are better prepared for future disasters. The exam may ask you to evaluate the effectiveness of disaster recovery process and identify opportunities for improvement. And this is where lessons learned comes into play, helping you refine your strategies and improve your organization's resilience over time. All right, let's summarize and recap some key points here. Response. Quickly detect and assess the disaster. Activate your disaster recovery teams and scale your response based on the severity. Personnel. Define roles. Appoint a business continuity coordinator. Ensure that key personnel are cross-trained and ready to act. Communications. Implement multi-channel communication strategies. Maintain regular updates and ensure that stakeholders stay informed throughout the recovery process. Assessment. Evaluate damage, resources, and the impact of the disasters on business operations using continuous monitoring to adjust your recovery plan as needed. Restoration. Prioritize the restoration of critical systems, ensure data integrity, and phase the restoration to prevent further issues. Training and awareness. Conduct regular drills, ongoing training, and awareness campaigns to ensure that your personnel are well prepared for any disaster. And lessons learned. After the recovery, hold review meetings, document insights, and update your plans to improve future responses. Remember, these elements are all interconnected, and the exam will test your ability to integrate these processes into a cohesive disaster recovery strategy, ensuring that your organization is resilient in the face of disasters. And it's not only about recovery, but also about protecting the common good, right? That's what we do as CISSPs. All right, the next slide, test it all out. I wanted to summarize this one by telling you, since I've been teaching this since 2001, business continuity and disaster recovery is one of the most overlooked things. I get a lot of people that get blindsided on exams. So I would definitely use the thing here. And another confusing thing is finding international standards. So tie it and say, hey, when you say that this test type is called this, where are you getting these terms, And then you'll get back things like ISO 27031 or 22301 or NIST 834 and stuff like that. So have fun. That's the most important thing. All right, I'll see you in 712.